Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, bud. I'm good. There's a lot happening between last night and the players having their event and everything
Love
going
it.
on. There's Taylor Swift pre-sale this morning, which is also a bit stressful in my world. There's just like a lot happening. Free agency drops today in the NWSL, so like I'm just like refreshing Twitter constantly, waiting to see some announcements from the players. It's a very busy Tuesday in this mid-November. How are you doing?
I'm good. Listen, it's 11:11 my time, so I'm gonna make a wish.
Ooh,
Wishing for some chaos. We'll see what happens. Well, you know what? Look, today's a big date. It's November the 15th. You know, as us going live this moment. And if people need a refresher, I'm here for you. We've been talking a little bit about the off season and what was to come, sort of post NWSL championship, and free agency was going to be one of those things. So clubs have a deadline to meet today, and maybe we'll have some things to talk about later this week as well. So that's a space we're keeping an eye on. But you know, we were a little bit curious, you know, if we were gonna with deadlines looming, if we were going to start seeing a little bit of news drops. And while there hasn't been a ton of that, there was something that came out last night that we should honestly celebrate. Lisa, you're already alluding to it a little bit. You're talking about the Players Ball for the United States Women's National Team Players Association. And within that event, there was a special announcement. Ashlyn Harris announced her retirement last night from professional soccer. World Cup championship, NWSL legend, had the record for most saves in NWSL as a club keeper. But gonna stay with Gotham, just in a different capacity. New role for Ashlyn Harrison moving forward.
this is not too big of a surprising announcement when it came last night from Ashlyn Harris. She is a legend, a U.S. soccer legend. She was on the 2015 and 2019 World Cup winning teams. She played during CONCACAF Olympic qualifying. That's the last time she was on the U.S. roster. And she's been in multiple different leagues, professional leagues, winning goalkeeper of the year with Western New York Flash of the WPS, and then with Orlando Pride in the NWSL. In 2016 was the most recent time she won goalkeeper of the year. I mean, she's just a player that has been known around the world of women's soccer for a very, very long time, and she's not going anywhere. I think that's also a really huge key thing, because her and her wife, Allie Krieger, made the move from Orlando to Gotham last year for this 2022 season, and Ashlyn will be staying with Gotham. So she's going to join the Gotham front office as the newly created position of Global Creative Advisor. So it's a brand new role for her. One of the things in the release that it said is that Harris is going to help with the future of Gotham, driving the collaborations with creatives, brands, steering the artistic direction of Gotham FC with the club's marketing team. So a lot. I mean, she's one of the most stylish people I know. So the fact that she's on the creative side of things and in this global creative advisor role, I think it's a great spot for her to still be involved with the club and now on more of an administrative side of things, because that's really the progression that we need to see more of in this sport and in this country, right? With players that are players growing up, they're players at the professional level, and once they retire, are they moving into administrative roles, coaching roles, refereeing? Are they like, how do these players continue to stay involved and keep the great game growing? And Ashlyn Harris is a perfect example of doing that with this transition.
I think that's one of the cool components about it for me, right? We're starting to see that continued trend for players kind of post playing careers. You know, if there are players who want to somehow remain affiliated, you know, very closely with the game, whether that's going to be club side or otherwise. It's cool to see that Harris is sort of shifting into one of those roles, but it's not necessarily behind the bench. It's not like in a coaching capacity, or it's, you know, or a scouting capacity or something like that. It's a cool new title, you know, a global creative advisor. And I'm not sure if there's another club out there that says that they have one of those at this moment, but maybe that in itself is opening up the door of possibility in other markets. Maybe there are some clubs out there that are saying, hey, we should keep an eye on a role like this and what it can provide for a club. And maybe in the future, that is a role that we try to implement within our own clubs as well.
Yeah, and you said she's not behind the bench. I mean, coaching is not for every player. Like that's
Yeah.
just not every player is built for that. But the fact that she has created this new role, it then also shows every other player that's still out there competing that hey, this is also a job. This is also something that you can try to do with your current club when you retire or with a different club or really making those roles open. And this is the first step to it. I mean, her continued involvement is good for the sport. Honestly, it is.
So we see Ashlyn Harris, make this announcement. We got to talk about the players' ball just a little bit, because that's where this announcement came out of. You talked about it, Lisa, the fashion, the dress, the drip. We saw a lot of cool pictures of A3. You could go catch the socials. There's some good videos on there as well. Look, everybody came prepared. It's off season. After you go through a long off season, that's or a long regular season. That's what I think the off season should be for, right? You have to celebrate what you've accomplished the year behind you. Let's talk about some of this fashion. Look, Ashlyn Harris is ready. If you're joining us live, you could see the full fit right now on our live episode. I love it. I love the black with the accents there. Love a good textured type of outfit. Good stuff.
She's rocking the blazer. She's trying to be like us, wearing the blazers for the championship. I mean, she looks great.
I need more hat fashion. I need more hat fashion. Honestly, I think that was something that was lacking for me at the Players Ball. But listen, everybody's got their own ways and forms and methods of self-expression, and I loved it. I loved every single little bit. I thought you could go through some of the photos and sort of in videos and kind of see something that you liked out of every player who was participating throughout these celebrations that evening. It was very, very cool to see. Yeah, I love it. I love that the live is popping off on on some of the activities from last night. Very cool to see Rose Lavelle's karaoke lead of Celine Dion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for folks who don't look, for gotta help out the youth. If any of you are joining us, the TikTok trend of Celine Dion, gotta show love. Love that Roosevelt took the mic in that moment and said, hey, we got to make sure that we just belt it out together. It really was scenes at the Players Ball. Can't wait for the next one, because if this sort of set the bar, maybe the next one is going to be even more wild.
And shout out to all the journalists that were there. We know Attacking Third was there. We had one of our reps, Andrea Pilar, there getting video right front stage, capturing Rose on the mic for karaoke, Ashlyn singing and dancing around. I mean, thanks for doing your job and not just like waving your hands around, because it's awesome. And now we all get to see it and enjoy it.
You got to participate. Don't be a wallflower. Participate sometimes.